This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron is a really interesting new podcast sponsor that I really enjoy because I like cooking, but I've always been pretty caveman-like in my cooking. I don't really use recipes. I don't buy cookbooks. I mean, I've read some recipes online for certain things, like I've smoked a ham before and things along those lines. It's kind of fun. But I never really set out and cooked meals under very specific or rigid instructions, buying certain amount of recipe ingredients and measuring it out. And I've never done that before Blue Apron. And Blue Apron is a really unique program where they send you the food every week with detailed photographic directions. They send you the recipe. It's really easy to follow, and it's delicious food. It's like eating out at an interesting restaurant, and you get to do it yourself, so you get this cool sense of satisfaction after it's done. Here's how it works. For $9.99 per meal, they'll send you the right ingredients in the exact right proportions with simple recipe instructions right to your door. Meals are between 500 and 700 calories per serving, although you really wouldn't guess it because they're very delicious. You would think that you're cheating. Blue Apron includes step-by-step directions. Excuse me. Blue Apron includes step-by-step instructions with pictures, so it's really idiot-proof. I've done it. I've made quite a few things now, and I get new things that are delivered to me every week. New lists like this week. They also have vegetarian options as well. The vegetarian ones are like fresh gnocchi with, I don't even know, how do you say this kind of mushrooms? Maitake, maitake mushrooms. Gnocchi and maitake mushrooms with sweet corn and brown butter thyme. Pepper arepas, A-R-E-P. See, it's all complicated, crafty food. Chicken with candied pistachios and snow pea radish saute. Indian-style salmon with tomato chutney and cranberry bean stew. BLTs. Hayashi chuku cold ramen, chicken breast with shrimp and grits. Mexican-style beef-stuffed red bell peppers. Really yummy stuff. Really interesting stuff, too, and it's fun to cook. It's like a little project. I do it. It takes me about a half an hour for each meal, and I enjoy it very much. And if you're into something like that, you should try it out. Go to blueapron.com/Rogan, and you will get your first 2 meals for free. That's blueapron.com/Rogan. That's me, R-O-G-A-N. blueapron.com/Rogan. You'll cook incredible meals, and you will really appreciate the quality and the freshness of the food. It's fast, it's fresh, and it's affordable. That's blueapron.com/Rogan. We are also brought to you by Stamps.com. Stamps.com is another one of our long-standing podcast sponsors that has been, I've heard nothing but positive responses about it. A lot of people use it. Brian Redband uses it to send all of his stuff from DeathSquad.tv. A lot of our friends use Stamps.com because it's a really easy way to send packages. Going to the post office can be a tremendous pain in the ass, and with Stamps.com, you can avoid that, and you can print official U.S. postage directly from your computer, either in your home or your office. They provide you with a digital scale. If you go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner and enter in the code word JRE, you will get a free digital scale and up to $55 worth of free postage. It's a $110 offer. And when you get that digital scale, you simply weigh your packages, print up official U.S. postage with any normal computer printer, slap that sucker right on the box, and boom, hand it to the postman, and you're done. You don't have to deal with any of the nonsense that comes with going to an actual post office, waiting in line, getting stuff measured out. Stamps.com is more powerful than a postage meter and just a fraction of the cost of it. You will save up to 80% compared to a postage meter. I'll say that again because you're not going to believe it. You can save up to 80% compared to a postage meter. That's true. And you'll avoid all the time-consuming trips to the post office. We use Stamps.com, And Stamps.com is an excellent choice if you have any sort of a home business or an office where you send things out of. It's way easier than going to the post office. Now, when you go to Stamps.com, before you do anything, click on the microphone in the top of the home page and type in JRE. That's Stamps.com, and enter the code word JRE for your $110 bonus offer, which again includes up to $55 in free postage and a free digital scale that you're not supposed to use for mushrooms or weed. Don't use it. And last but not least, we are brought to you by Onnit.com. That is ONNIT. If you have not heard, Onnit has the latest and greatest in our kettlebell series. The new ones are called the Legend kettlebells. We're out of zombie kettlebells for now, getting them in. But we now have the Werewolf, and the Werewolf is pretty dope-alicious. And it is 62 pounds. All of the kettlebells that we have, the artistic kettlebells, they are all 3D balanced. And what that means by 3D balanced is they look cool, but they're also balanced correctly. You don't want anything to be weighted too heavily on one side, and that way it sort of defeats the whole purpose of making a kettlebell. They also have extra large handles for enhanced grip strength. I can't say it enough. I am a huge fan of working out with kettlebells. It is the main method that I use for strength and conditioning training, and it's benefited me tremendously. What they are is they're essentially these giant balls of iron with these huge metal handles, these iron handles, and you swing them around. And in doing so, it promotes what they call functional strength. We have several workout DVDs that are also for sale at Onnit.com, and not just DVDs for kettlebells, but also DVDs for sandbag workouts, DVDs for steel mace workouts, DVDs for just all sorts of different body weight training exercises as well. We have a huge selection now, and including my favorite, which is the Extreme Kettlebell Cardio Workout DVD, the Extreme Kettlebell Cardio 2, Extreme 2 Kettlebell Cardio Workout DVD, which is the latest and greatest by Keith Weber, who will be on the show next month. We also have a wide variety of supplements and foods including Hemp Force Protein, Earth-Grown Nutrients, which is an excellent supplement to add to your morning shake to ensure you're getting your daily amount of greens, really super healthy stuff with antioxidants, powerful greens from both land and the sea, wheatgrass, barley grass, oatgrass, kale, kelp, all sorts of different stuff, spirulina, alfalfa. Just the idea behind it, just getting as many nutrients into your body as you can, especially earth-grown nutrients, really healthy, natural, easy for your body to digest, with 5 major components, all of it listed at Onnit.com. And the other things along the food lines are the Warrior Bar, which is another big favorite of mine, which is natural, organic buffalo meat, no antibiotics, no added hormones. It's buffalo meat pressed in an ancient Lakota recipe, with no added preservatives. The way it's done is the same way they used to do it probably more than 1,000 years ago. It has only 140 calories, but with 14 grams of protein and 4 grams of fat for every 2-ounce serving. Very healthy, and it doesn't feel, you can satisfy your cravings and your hunger, and you don't feel like a dummy for doing so. Go to Onnit.com, ONNIT, and use the code word Rogan, and you will save 10% off any and all supplements. We are a human optimization website, and even if you don't go to Onnit and purchase things, there's just a huge source of interesting stuff at the Onnit Academy. Lots of fantastic workouts that you can check out, and a lot of inspirational stuff, great articles. The Onnit Academy is one of the newest and expanding forums at Onnit. Not expanding forums, but forums at Onnit, pages at Onnit. Lots of really cool stuff there that you could go there and just get it for free. But if you want to buy anything, use the code word Rogan and you'll save 10% off any and all supplements. All right, Rupert Sheldrake is here. Cue the music, young Jamie.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
All right. Well, thank you for your patience, Rupert. Rupert Sheldrake, ladies and gentlemen. I came to know of you through the trialogues that you did with Terrence McKenna, who I'm a huge fan of, and Ralph Abraham. And I thought there were some really fascinating conversations. And, all of Terrence's MP3s are very thought-inspiring and made you really look at things from a very different and peculiar angle that he had. He had a very unique way of looking at the world. But I came to know of you from that, and I came to know of your ideas of morphic resonance, which I found to be really fascinating. And if you don't mind, just explain to folks at home listening what the concept of morphic resonance is.
It's the idea of memory in nature, the idea that the whole universe has a kind of memory. The so-called laws of nature are more like habits. Each individual in a species draws on a collective memory and contributes to it. It works on the basis of similarity. Any pattern of activity that's similar to a later pattern of activity in a self-organizing system influences it across space and time. So what it means, in effect, is that if you train rats to learn a new trick in Los Angeles, then rats in New York and Sydney and London will learn the same thing quicker straight away. There's actually evidence that this surprising effect happens. If you crystallize a new chemical that's never existed before, then after you've made it in one place, it should get easier to crystallize all over the world. So it's really a theory of habit and memory, and it enables new patterns of learning to spread quicker than they might otherwise do. And it means that it should get easier to learn things that other people have already learned.
So this has been proven, this concept of rats being able to learn one thing in New York quicker because they learned it already in San Francisco?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't done to test morphic resonance, which is still very controversial. It was done to test something else. It was done in years ago, before the Second World War. A professor at Harvard called William McDougall wanted to find out if rats could learn quicker what their parents had learned. So he trained these rats to escape from a water maze. They had to swim. If they went out the wrong exit, they got an electric shock. And if they went out the right exit, which the wrong one was lit up with a light, the other one was dim. If they went out the right exit, they just escaped from the maze. And he tested them to see how many trials they made before they learned always go out of the dim exit. And the first generation took about 200